Take 3 Wrestling Podcast here. I'll be host Curtis. DJ Chris coming to you alongside the fellas, Mike Rudina, Joe Lopez. Fellas, what's going on?
Nothing. Why is it that my brain hurts after watching that show?
I assume you didn't enjoy it, and I know based on our group text from the first match on, you were definitely not feeling things.
There have been better shows. There have also been worse shows.
Joe, how you just woke up, I know.
Yeah, I mean, either that or I could just sleep through this. Like,
well, the fun thing about today's show, we don't have a pre-planned topics today. What we're gonna do the old school spin the wheel, make that deal, or make the podcast for that matter, as Mike pointed out a little while ago. And we're gonna let the topics on the wheel determine the show this week. So, Mike, what are the how many topics? I got 9 topics.
9 topics.
9 topics. What are the 9 topics for the listeners today?
Spin the wheel, make the podcast. Our 9 topics on the wheel in random locations include the PWI top 100 females.
Parts unknown?
Yes. Hell in a Cell recap, top Intercontinental title matches, top impactful women in WWE, top cage matches, top 5 items on a pole match.
You know this is going.
Yeah. NXT Halloween Havoc preview, and then 2 that I threw on this wheel as mine, and I didn't tell you guys these. What matches would be on your spin the wheel, make the deal, and finally, how would you finish the Retribution angle?
oh God.
Who? That's Joe, wasn't it?
No, that was me.
Oh, was you? Okay.
I picked the last 2, just because I was looking for things, and I was scrolling through Twitter, and a lot of people, yourself included, Ernest, were like, "Well, that was dumb. Now what do they do?"
Yeah, they
So I
killed
figured
that fucking thing, but let's save it in
If
case.
they're not trying to, well, I don't want to say it because they might not be the topic tonight, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's get the first topic out of the way. Let's go.
All right, hold on, guys. I gotta get my hands warm to spin this wheel.
How big's
All
my
right.
wheel?
It's like
Not-
it's like an average size wheel. It's like a good 6 inches.
Okay.
All right, wheel is spinning. Holy shit. Okay.
She said.
Topic number 1. How would you finish the Retribution?
Jesus Crowley.
That's
Okay,
amazing.
let's get started. How would you finish the Retribution?
I would ship them all to a fucking island and then blow it up.
Honestly, the way it's going right now, after Hell in a Cell, get rid of it. I don't know, dude. Look, if they're not trying to bury these guys, they're doing a horrible job with the optics, dude. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, I would
Seriously.
honestly, best way to end the angle at this point, have them all get into a limo and then blow it up and then have Paul London laugh about it.
Wow,
It makes no damn sense.
Angles,
Like I said, what did I tell you guys last week? The whole, make it make sense. If these guys are really outsiders, for example, as you say they are, and it's supposed to be, why are they part of the fucking roster? Why are they part of the draft? Why are they being announced that they signed a contract with WWE? I don't get it. Like, if they're outsiders, treat them like that. It's never made sense from the start. And I'm rooting for the angle. I'm rooting for it. I love Ali especially. But come on, dude. It makes no fucking sense what they're doing. It really doesn't.
Your son really loves
guy?
that.
Who was the guy that was in the match tonight against
Slapjack?
Yeah.
Shane
Yeah.
Thorne.
Who was that?
Shane Thorne, like half of
The Mighty Don't Kneel?
The Mighty Don't Kneel? TM.
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
Used to be.
TMDK.
Wow. I mean, like, good for him that he finally got his shot, but like, wow, they fucked it up really badly.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I think, and this is something that could go multiple ways. Honestly, I think mistake number 1 was pairing them off.
Me too. Good up, yeah.
Wait. Say that again, Michael?
My first thought process was they made the wrong decision by pairing them with the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business is probably the best faction on Raw that's been there for however long. They really haven't had many good factions on Monday Night Raw recently. So they go with this route. So I like the fact that they have the Hurt Business. They shouldn't have put them with the Hurt Business because the Hurt Business should probably go over them because, hey, Bobby Lashley is the United States champion. You're getting good things out of Shelton Benjamin. MVP's been good. So it's one of those things where I don't know that I would necessarily have put them with the Hurt Business from the beginning.
No.
I think they pinned themselves a little bit into a corner there, which kind of sucks because there was
it's a bad matchup.
It is, but I think the other thing that happened here was I think that a lot of us, myself included, were hoping for a bigger leader.
I kind of like Ali as the leader.
You mean bigger in size or bigger in name?
I think a lot of people thought it would be bigger in name.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone who had been gone since, the whole COVID stuff and would be making their return as like being the one that was like letting them in, but we couldn't see them backstage, but they really weren't backstage because they were out with the whole not being able to travel stuff. So like, I think maybe that was a thought process, or maybe like people may have gotten deflated because it wasn't all NXT guys. It was a main roster guy with NXT guys. I think the thing is when they also debuted on Raw and they first started talking, everybody assumed that Donovan Dijakovic was probably going to be the leader.
Yeah, me too.
Did all the talking. Which if that's the route that they wanted to go, fine. But they balked on it for some reason. They decided to go this route instead. And it may have been their route the entire way. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to speculate because I'm not sitting in Vince's office. I don't know for sure. And I don't want anyone to think that, hey, this guy thinks he knows what he's talking about.
Wait, you trying to say you don't have Vince's ear at all?
No, I don't. But I mean, he did do some things that he heard on this podcast last week.
So you call him pal? Funny. You don't call him pal?
Kind of funny.
Hi, pal.
Yeah. So
I'm just saying, you should nibble on that old man's earlobe. What is he,
Might as
like
well.
7 years old?
He's saying shoot your shot.
I mean, the Ali situation.
I was actually just trying to quote "Guilty Conscious" by Eminem and Dr. Dre and changing the lyrics around, but whatever.
No problem. Yeah, that too.
The Ali being the leader thing doesn't bother me, but I can see where some people would be like, "Man, I really wish that it was somebody of more, I guess, merit." But it doesn't bother me.
See, I'm going to say this. I like Ali as the leader. I think it gives him something to do, and he's someone who, certainly has needed something to do for a very long time. That said, I agree with you that partnering them with the Hurt Business was probably a horrible decision because you really can't have them beat the Hurt Business because the Hurt Business is kind of one of the top acts, on the brand right now. And at the same time, having these guys show up and then basically get punked out every week is doing absolutely nothing for them. Great. So now our jobbers have characters behind them. Awesome. If you're just going to have them be losers, then, we don't need to spend all this time on getting to know who the hell they are.
Right. Go ahead. Go, Joe.
Well, what I would say is if they were going to put them with the Hurt Business, the only members of the Hurt Business that could potentially take a fall that would, happen would be Cedric. They're not going to have Bobby ever get pinned by any of them because he's the United States champion. Well, maybe MVP, maybe Shelton occasionally. But Cedric would be the one that would take the fall in most of those matches. And I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't see Cedric losing to Shane Thorne.
I don't either.
I can see it being
maybe
Cedric
Dijakovic.
Exactly, like Cedric and MVP Ali. versus Ali and Donovan or Donovan and Dio, Slapjack and Mace or whatever it is.
Right.
Or T-Bar and Mace, the two big guys. I can see Cedric taking a fall from one of the two big guys of that group. But I would say I don't see Lashley losing to any of them.
So
nor should he.
Honestly, the question on this topic was what we would do with the angle from here. I think the thing that I would do if we were taking it seriously and saying that we were trying to save the angle, not just get rid of it, not put them in a limo and blow it up. I was half joking, half not. Someone called Paul London, but if we were actually trying to salvage this thing, what I would do is get them off TV for a couple of weeks, just fucking disappear them, and I'm Sicilian, that's how we refer to it. And then bring them back in a couple of weeks and only have them focused on the women's division. Because what you have is one of the best women on the roster and certainly on the brand who isn't even being used in like any women's matches right now. She's just showing up with the group half the time. And that's fucking stupid. I would just have her get involved in like the women's title scene over there on Raw. Have her go up against Asuka. Have the group fucking help her win the women's title. And all of a sudden, guess what? They matter.
That's a good idea, actually. I can buy that.
That's what I would do. I mean, the women's
get them off the
the
brand. First off, one of the problems they have now that you have two factions right now in the same brand. You know, move one on SmackDown and keep one the other.
I don't think that's really that big of an issue.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but New Japan is nothing but factions. That doesn't work as an argument.
Here's what I would do. I would go along the lines of what Joe's saying, especially with Mia being a person that they could also go with. Another route that I would like to see them go, take them off, like Joe said, for a week or two, and then I would have Donovan Dijakovic or whatever, T-Bar and Mace, him and Dio Madden, I would have them face the New Day for the tag titles. It's a division that no one really cares about, but it's a way to get a couple of title belts on these rogue renegades. And,
right.
They mean something. No, do I think that any of them are going to beat Bobby Lashley next week? No. But do I think that given 3 or 4 months worth of work, do I think that a potential Donovan Dijakovic versus Bobby Lashley feud could be very interesting? Yes. Yes, I do. The problem is we don't know him as Donovan Dijakovic. We know him as T-Bar.
I'm sorry. I can't laugh for that shit. I can't think seriously. I'm sorry. I can't. I cannot.
Is your favorite in the group Left Eye or Chili?
Chili. Of course, Chili, man. Come on now.
Oh my God. Burn the house down. No, look.
No, that was.
That was Left Eye. I know. All I'm saying is, though, it feels like they took this group of basically mid-card guys and low-key tried to position them as something more important, and then a week later realized, wait a second, it's a bunch of guys who are just mid-card guys. What are we doing? And that's fine. It's okay to have a mid-card group, but then put them in the mid-card. Have them fighting for the tag belts.
Again, the problem is that the whole idea, what they're writing for them is stupid. That's the problem. It's not so much the guys. The guys are fine. It's what they're doing, the execution of these things. It's stupid. Everything is dumb.
Do you guys like them being involved with The Fiend?
I mean, whatever.
No.
Because of how it happened. Literally, in the last 7 days, they've gotten squashed by The Fiend. They've gotten squashed by the Hurt Business. And Slapjack lost to Bobby Lashley in a pretty mild match.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was a squash
match. Someone look up
some offense in that game.
Someone look up the results to like main event from last week. Maybe one of them lost to fucking Bronson Reed.
Murphy.
Right.
Yeah.
Slapjack lost to Murphy or some random bullshit.
Did you guys watch main event actually?
No.
I don't even know if it's still a show. Is it still a show?
Yeah, apparently it does. I was checking the dates and it still shows, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I think the thing I would do is I would move them into a different part of, I guess, the card. I mean, the thing is they should really be running Rough Shed over,
the lower divisions. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me them, meeting up with Tucker in the hallway and beating the shit out of him. Let me get them taking out, the women's division. Like, why aren't they helping like her take out like Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke and Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans and stuff like that? And in the men's division, why aren't they jumping the New Day in the back or Apollo Crews?
I do think that I will say the damage isn't so severe that you can't still do something like this if you have them just disappear off TV for a week or two. You can literally
make the change now.
Yeah. Like, you can literally just drop the current storyline that they're in that isn't working.
Right. There's still a chance to change this thing. You're definitely right. There's definitely a chance.
It's not completely dead. It doesn't have to be completely dead. The talent is still there, and it's still kind of a cool gimmick. But like I said, I feel like they're overshooting their shot. Mm-hmm. Like, these are, like Mike was saying, these are guys that should be running Rough Shed through the, lower divisions, not trying to fight Bobby Lashley, which never worked out for anybody. Rusev literally left the company.
Yeah, Miro. That's a whole nother fucking can of worms. Like, why is that motherfucker not in an eight man tournament? It's beyond me. That makes no sense to me at all.
There's a lot of things about that. That makes no sense, but
AEW has been kind of like, these last couple weeks. Just saying. And you know me, I'm an AEW mark, but
oh well.
Yeah, well. Anything else on this topic?
Yeah,
I'm good. I mean,
we're going back to the big wheel of fun.
Yeah, man.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Make the deal.
Topic 2.
Okay,
come on.
I need a sound effect.
Yeah, we need a wheel sound. I mean, that was more like Showcase Showdown, but
press it right.
Oh, it's got a good spin going. And ours is the show that was tonight, the Hell in the Cell recap.
Very good. Very good. All right.
Yeah.
So let's let Michael Bernier bitch about the ending to the first match of the fucking night. Right off the bat. Fucking text machine went off the fucking roof.
You can boo me all you want. You don't have to like it.
I'm not booing you. That's Joseph.
Before the show started.
I'm booing the topic.
Match, R-Truth defeated Drew Gulak in a 24/7 title match that went 5 minutes on the pre-show. Roman Reigns over Jey Uso inside a Hell in the Cell in an I Quit match where Jey and his brother Jimmy have to take orders and acknowledge Roman as the tribal chief, where the Usos and their immediate family will be exiled from the Anoa'i family. Match started out.
So wait.
Just fine to me.
Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
So if they're just kicked out of the family, if they don't like now bow down to fucking Roman Reigns, can like Samoa Joe just accept them and be like, it's okay, we have other Samoans?
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I could get behind Samoa Joe taking the Usos as like his illegitimate cousins, but real cousins.
Illegitimate cousins.
Starting their own faction. I mean, fuck it, why not?
Yo, bring him back and have him fight Roman for the belt.
Everybody from the island, brother.
Just have every fucking Samoan in his. What's Haiku doing?
So, Mike, is your only issue with the match just the ending? I thought the match was really good.
No, I thought the match was great. But if you remember, we had the group chat going, and we were talking about the women's match, and me and Joe, which we'll get to, and it was, this is really great. And then Joe said, please don't have a shit finish. Please don't have a shit finish. Please don't have a shit finish. I felt the same way about this match. And I felt the finish was dumb, because here's the thing. Who goes for a choke in a match where their opponent has to say, I quit? And then the microphones pick up Roman going, I will take your last breath. Okay, so now we have attempted murder on a pay-per-view. That makes perfect sense.
You could do the Mankind Rock thing where they have the recording go, I quit, I quit.
So, then we have a spot with the steps where, you know, he's like not even doing anything. Like the steps are just kind of like sitting there. Like he's obviously in the spot where it goes in the rail. No real damage being done. Just him sitting there blabbering his mouth. The door's wide open. There's been now 5 members of the backstage crew and 4 referees. And not one of them thought to close and like lock the door. So now, the other Uso, who just had knee surgery, doesn't look like he's hobbling at all. Dives into the ring like he's fully healthy and lays on his prone brother's carcass. And then Roman Reigns pulls the, like, really bad version of Best Supporting Actor in a Drama and decides to choke out the injured Uso until the Uso in the match quit so he would let go of him. I'm sorry. I have a brother. I would probably not say I quit. What's he gonna do? Kill him? Then he's gonna go to jail and I'm gonna get the world title anyways. It just doesn't make sense.
Wait, it won't be vacant?
No, vacant would not be the champion. I would get the title. I was the last person to fight for it. I get it by default. Screw you guys. But the real takeaway that I have here, Roman Reigns could not beat Jey Uso in an I Quit match where he hit like 17 spears, 5 Superman punches, choked him out. It wasn't what he was doing to the actual guy in the match. It's what he did to his brother during the match that made him quit. He didn't beat Jey Uso to beat Jey Uso. He beat Jey Uso by beating up Jimmy Uso.
Okay, can I rebut?
Sure, go
ahead. may I reboot? Okay. So I agree with you about the whole choking out thing. I think that was dumb. That doesn't belong in an I Quit match. It's the same thing as whenever they have these kind of matches. But Randy Orton always seems to have these matches and like try to go for a pinfall, and it pisses me off. Like I'm glad that didn't happen tonight. At least Roman Reigns did not go to the Randy Orton school of matches that don't end in pinfalls.
Trust me, I know, you sent me some text messages of what the fuck is Randy Orton doing?
Right. Because every single time you put him in a last man standing match, he will go for a pinfall at least once. Anyway, this isn't a shit on Randy Orton part of the show yet.
No, not yet.
Don't worry,
we'll get there. We'll get there.
That's coming.
But so, that said, that part of it I agree with you on. The rest of it from there, I think really the problem is, and I think, one week we did that topic where it was like our least favorite gimmick matches or whatever, and it might have been one of my topics, and I definitely pointed out how I Quit matches to me are the dumbest fucking matches. Those and last man standing matches I think are really stupid, but I Quit matches are especially dumb because at the end of the day, what is the point? I'm going to beat you so senseless that you're going to quit. But, realistically, what does it take to actually get someone to quit? That's kind of a weird measuring stick that, there's no actual way of telling. Hey, at least in a match, if you're winning or losing based on knocking the guy out, you have a general idea of, all right, we'll hit him with 12 RKOs and then he's knocked out, Throw him off the side of a cage and then he's knocked out. You don't have that when an I Quit match. You have to almost, I feel like it's one, like I said, it's one of the dumbest gimmick matches, and it really paints you in a corner every single time where it's how are you going to get someone to win this match? And my favorite I Quit match finish, I think I said this in that episode too, was a CZW match between Nick fucking Gage and I think Brain Damage. Who I don't even think is with us anymore. And that match ended with Nick Gage threatening to set Brain Damage on fire if he didn't say I quit. And the dude was like, okay, I quit. So that to me was a realistic way to end an I Quit match. I think this was also, I think saying hey, look, you may not care about your safety and you might be nah, I'm too proud to say I quit no matter what you do to me. But then I drag in someone who's super, yes, I get it. Not everyone's super close to their brother. I'm not going to comment anything. I don't know if my brother's listening, but Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso are literally a tag team. They're literally they're closer than I think a lot of brothers are. You know what I mean? If you book this with a pair of brothers, if you all of a sudden had Bo Dallas show up and you had Bray Wyatt in a match like this and you've never acknowledged them as being brothers before on television, and then all of a sudden it was wait a second, why does this person have Bo Dallas? Why is he going to murder him? Why is Bray Wyatt suddenly giving up? And then I would be yeah, that's dumb. That's never been established on TV. But the Usos, until literally Jay's recent push while Jimmy's hurt, or Josh. Who the fuck is Josh, by the way? Anyway.
Yeah, thank you. Who Josh was? Yes, that's weird.
I'm assuming that's Jay's shoot name, which I hate shit like that. That again, that's dumb. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of stupid to me that Like if you went out of your way and like I was saying, like if you went out of your way and had Bo Dallas all of a sudden connected to Bray, that would be dumb. To me, the Usos have always been established as this close pair. So like I buy that he would be like, like I'm not gonna quit no matter what you do to me. But all of a sudden you're threatening to hurt my brother. Like, yeah, okay, fine. This isn't worth it. It's not worth watching him get hurt. So I totally buy that, and I don't even think that it made Roman Reigns look like a bitch. Like I said, I feel like it's one of those matches where you paint yourself into a corner. There's no easy way to end it because there's no easy way to not look like a bitch if you're the person saying I quit. So if anything, I think this was one of the smartest ways to get out of that. Jay doesn't look weak to me at the end of this, and Roman looks like I think part of it is and Mike, I don't want to put words in your mouth, obviously. So like tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like maybe you'd think, judging from what some of you were saying in the text message, and I don't even know that I disagree, that maybe Roman as a heel should be more of just a monster, as opposed to they've almost played him more of like a Ric Flair or like the Miz level heel, where it's like, I don't need to just smash you over the head with my big muscles. I'm going to come up with a clever, sneaky way to beat you. Which
kind of
doesn't work for Roman necessarily as a character, but I love his heel character.
It does kind of feel like they're building to that, though. It's a slow build to heel. Like, we know it's a heel, but it feels very slow. It feels like it's building something even bigger. That's what it feels like to me.
My thought process, you kind of have what I'm feeling, Joe, but it's on a standpoint of who he was facing.
Please explain it in your words. I was just going by like a guess.
I'm not disagreeing that I feel like he should be bulldozering through some people.
Right. Retribution, perhaps.
Yes. Jey Uso is someone that never really had a singles push, isn't the biggest guy in the fight, so I would feel like Roman should really be going through him like a hot knife through butter.
Right.
But then he, like, coming up with these ideas of other ways to beat people for guys like Braun Strowman or guys like The Fiend or guys that have that have been in the upper echelon of WWE. Even if like Drew McIntyre came over or Randy Orton or whoever, a veteran, a guy who's been a multi-time singles world champion in the company. I could see him breaking out the submission move that he did against Braun Strowman. Well, I'm not going to overpower a guy who's a foot taller than me and weighs 355 pounds more than I got to find a way to beat him smart. How do I do that? By opening up this whole new bag of tricks. But Jey Uso, and I like the Usos. I'm an Uso guy. I'm an Us. I just don't see why he would have such a hard time. Like, if he's fighting
Mike,
Roman, yes.
Uso crazy.
I know I'm so crazy. If he's having such a hard time beating them, and again, this is just me spitballing the way things looked in the match. He hit the same amount of spears and Superman punches against Braun Strowman. He beats Braun Strowman. You mean to tell me that Jey Uso is more believable to be a threat to Roman Reigns than Braun Strowman?
But see that's where I say where to me it was more of a failure of the match gimmick. Because if this was just a regular one-on-one match, if there was going to be pinfalls and stuff, and it
choke him out, and the match ends. That's fine.
Right, but I'll give you that. Look, if this was the kind of match that could have ended under normal circumstances, and this is still the finish they went with, then yeah, that's dumb. You guys should have just had him beat Jey Uso the way anyone beats anybody. You know what I mean?
Choke him out.
Right, but because of the gimmick, like either they should have made it. I'm not going to say they should have because I actually, like I said, I like the finish. I like the story that they're telling with all of this. But
they painted themselves into too deep of a corner.
They did. Like there's no way around saying that. They paint themselves into a corner with a match gimmick like that. If I never had to see another I Quit match, and I do in like a week, fucking AEW, but if I never had to see another I Quit match in my life, I would be satisfied. And also, too, I said this in the text message, but now the other 6 people who listen to the show got to hear it. I really hope during the Kingston and Jon Moxley match, the I Quit match, at some point, Kingston just like has Moxley on his knees and is just like, call me the tribal leader or some shit like that.
That'd be funny.
Call me the captain of this ship.
Yes.
I am the leader of this ship.
Partner.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on. 29 minutes, 6 seconds, the second longest match of the night from bell to bell. Post-match, Roman is given the family tribal necklace beaded thing from the Head Shrinkers.
Shout out to Sika.
I'm intrigued to see what happens because I almost kind of want the Usos just to be like, nah, fam, we good. And just not come, just not be fucking part of the family. It's like, nah, dude, we good.
Right.
We'll just sit over here and do our own thing. You can be the tribal chief by yourself. You can be the tribal chief of one.
Just renounce their Usoism.
Yeah. Now they just become John Stevenson and Jimmy Stevenson.
Josh, damn it.
Oh, Josh. No, they keep Jimmy and Jay.
Oh, they keep Jimmy and Jay. Okay.
Yeah, they just dropped the Uso name. Now they're like Jimmy von Lichtenstein and Jay von Lichtenstein.
What if we put them in masks and they join Lucha House Party?
Oh, God.
I mean, Edge and Christian as Los Conquistadors?
Right, exactly.
Hell yeah, ship it. All right, so let's move on. Singles match, 7 minutes, 50 seconds. Elias beat Jeff Hardy via disqualification after Jeff blasted him in the back with a guitar.
That match felt like it was 53 minutes long.
Did it really?
To me, it did.
Because of the opening sequence of Elias singing,
right?
You know, Jeff Hardy falling off the wagon for the 935th time.
What is it
with WWE and like wanting to bring up like their members of their rosters having past substance abuse issues? Like, why is that part of their gimmicks? Like, why is that part of angles? Like,
anything for content, man. Content, whatever.
But it's not.
I agree with you.
Content is one thing, but it's not good.
I hate it.
There's nothing good that can come out of mentioning the fact that Jeff Hardy used to do cocaine and fucking crack like it was fucking going out of style. I mean, like, what good is coming out of that?
He had to okay that shit, obviously.
You know, the thing is, I didn't hate it during the Sheamus feud, but now, like, I'm good on it now. Like, I don't know why it's continuing.
It's overplayed now. It's overplayed. Like, stop.
And
already.
Also, too, the whole thing is kind of stupid because we all factually know that Jeff Hardy is not the one that hit Elias with his car. So, like, why is Elias going after him? Like, why did that whole thing start? That was really dumb.
Also, I'm just glad Elias is back being a heel again. Never put the babyface Elias last year. Heel Elias is better. Yeah.
He's much better as a heel. It works a lot better. I didn't hate the match, and I'm sure we're gonna get a rematch in like 2 weeks at the next pay-per-view. You know, whenever it is.
I don't think the next pay-per-view is still Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. 30 years of The Undertaker.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
What if they have him and fucking Liger have a match? Let's just have that shit.
Lex Luger or Jushin Thunder Liger?
Liger.
I'm sorry.
Luger can't move anymore, man.
I was like, what? I was like, you want a guy who's basically paralyzed to get chokeslammed?
Mean.
That's kind of mean, Joe.
You know what? No, just book him against Jey Uso and then have him threaten to chokeslam Lex Luger unless he says, I quit.
Let's go.
Yeah, that works. Give me Sting versus Undertaker at fucking Survivor Series.
Dude, this is the year for it.
Yeah, there's no fans. It could be a cinematic fucking piece.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very
you
true.
have they could have been filming it for the last 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't even need to do more than like 3 minutes at a time. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
So that match went 7 minutes 50 seconds. Next contest was for the Money in the Bank contract. The current Money in the Bank holder was Otis. I say was because he was defeated by The Miz after Tucky turned on him and blasted him in the back of the shoulder / heads, whatever the fuck that was. With
Scale 1 to 10 real quick. Scale 1 to 10, Mike. How shocked with you about the turn?
The turn or that Miz won the contract?
No, the turn.
2.7.
Okay.
Did you see it coming? I did not see that coming. I was shocked.
I did see it coming.
I saw it coming for one reason and one reason only. Tucker is a member of the Raw roster.
Right.
Tucker has no reason to be at the show because he's not working. Why the fuck else would he be in fucking Otis's corner? Why wouldn't Mandy be in his corner?
Support.
But why wouldn't Mandy be in his corner?
That's true.
Mandy's on Raw. he hasn't seen Mandy in 14 days or whatever it is since she's been traded to Raw. So it's just it's one of those things where it just didn't make sense. It felt like it was coming, especially because when were Otis and Tucky gonna be really around each other again?
So wait, do you think we're gonna get like a match or a feud out of it with them, or do you think we're just never gonna see them interact again since they're not on the same?
I mean, unless one of them gets traded to the other brand, no, I don't think we're gonna see shit out of it.
That's kind of dumb.
What do you do with Tucky now? Like, I mean, obviously Tucky's now solo, so what do you do? What do you do now with him?
I mean, he's gonna need a new look. That's number one.
Yeah.
And like some sort of like ominous theme music.
Right.
Yeah, no, because Otis got new theme music and it was really good.
I saw that, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, yeah, you've turned him heel. You've turned Tucker heel. He has a cool name already. He's got a decent look. He's gonna need new gear and stuff. You can't have him looking like the heavy machinery guy anymore. But yeah, like I mean, you obviously have to throw if you are pushing him, you have to throw him in some kind of feud with someone. I don't know what face is available right now on Raw that's like a good person for him to be partnered against, but that's the only use at this point. You have to follow up. You basically have to have someone tomorrow night on Raw call him an asshole for turning on his best friend, and like them getting in the match against each other, and Tucker needs to win.
How about he murders Humberto Carrillo?
I mean, sure.
Or Ricochet.
See, Ricochet, I can get behind that, though. Like, that's a good little, like, mid-card match tomorrow night on Raw. If you have Ricochet, you have Ricochet backstage in his, his horrible acting promo skills be like, hey, man, I can't believe you turned on your best friend. That was dick. Like that time I wouldn't Tebow. That was really horrible. Fuck me.
I knew it was coming
up. And then they get into a match. And then later on, and then Tucker wins because fuck Ricochet. He doesn't need to win matches. If he needed to win matches, he wouldn't have a career. So, like, you have Tucker win, and then, I don't know, he can fucking beat Retribution the week after.
Hell yeah, beat Retribution.
Ricochet's a stepping block. That's great.
I mean, it's more than what he's doing right now anyway.
True, I agree.
I would love for him to be a stepping stone. Fuck that guy. So when do we think the Miz is cashing in? Well, let's talk about that before we move on to the next.
I thought he was going to cash in tonight, but apparently I was wrong.
You and anybody else?
See, I don't think anything with Survivor Series. I think it's got to be something like December pay-per-view or something.
Yeah.
Or, something
DLC?
like that. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. So now that the Miz has the contract, where do we put Otis on the Money in the Bank briefcase holder list?
Exactly where he belongs, which is pretty much at the fucking bottom.
He knew this was coming though.
What's the thing though? Like the only other person to have, and I like that they referenced it tonight without saying names, but the only other person to ever have lost the briefcase was Kennedy, and like at least he ended up losing it. I forget why. Was it injury that he ended up like being the reason why he had to lose it?
I think so.
It was either injured. No. It wasn't him being injured. It was
a wellness violation, I think.
Okay. It was like there was something there that made sense for why he had to lose it. Otis didn't have to lose it, but Otis was clearly never put in a position where he was actually supposed to be the guy that won it. I mean, not for more than a joke. I'm pretty sure that the plan was always like, hey, how are we going to get this off of him? I love The Miz. Miz is one of my favorite wrestlers. Miz has long belonged back in the world title scene. So honestly, like to me, my biggest disappointment is the result of the main event because I would have rather have seen Miz cash in on Drew McIntyre, and I even would have rather seen Miz be the guy to end that title reign, frankly.
Okay, so it was an injury. He tore his tricep. That's why he did not.
Kennedy.
Kennedy tore his tricep. That's the reason why he did not get a ability to cash in his contract.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like honestly, I'm totally happy that the Miz won it, quite frankly. But you guys know I'm not a big Otis fan, so.
Well, my thing was I said that I would have rather have had Otis attempt to cash in and get dwarfed by someone, or something like he joins the list of John Cena being the ones that, decide that they're going to tell the person that they're going to wrestle him and then lose. Something like that. Like, I would have felt like that would have been better, because now the Miz's time with the briefcase is going to be rushed in my mind, and it may make it where it's like it's not as memorable, especially for the Miz. But for his sake, I hope he wins the match. I mean, I hope he gets the belt. So that's where I stand.
All right.
Next match from Hell in a Cell was the SmackDown Women's Championship. Sasha Banks finally finishes the women's title Grand Slam by winning the SmackDown Women's Championship. Easy for me to say. For the first time. 26 minutes, 35 seconds. The Boss finishes the 360-plus day reign of former best friend Bayley.
I'm going to say it. This was one of my favorite matches of the year. And
yeah, hands down. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it might have been their best match against each other, even, if I'm being honest.
In terms of psychology, absolutely.
I mean, even in terms of the spots and stuff, they pulled out some awesome spots.
I agree. Yeah.
And they made everything work. Like, honestly, they're the kind of athletes, and this is like, you can tell the caliber of talent sometimes by the athletes who can really roll with the punches and, like, just make everything look smooth in a match, So even if something doesn't go right, even if setting up a spot doesn't go right, they can move on from it without it being like, all right, well, we still have to do this spot. You know what I mean? Like they can really, like, I guess, like, work on their feet is, I guess, what I'm saying, which, at this point feels like a little bit of a lost art in pro wrestling. I mean, you can watch AEW and any lower card match. You can kind of see guys struggling to not, if they miss a spot, like, oh shit, what do we do now? I respect the hell out of any talent who doesn't have an oh shit look on their face when, like, something goes wrong,
I feel like every match I watch of Bayley, especially too, it tells a great story within the match. It tells a great story. I just love watching her matches.
No, she's honestly, one of my thoughts at the end of this match, besides like, wow, this was amazing, best women's match of the year, one of the best matches of the year, period, like, in wrestling, was also, wow, but this also goes to show you why these are two of the 4 horsewomen of pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no question that these are two of the best, hands down. And I love that Bayley's getting her moment. Because, for the longest time, she was like the black horse of the horsewomen. You know what I mean? Like, right. She was, like, she wasn't the one that was very celebrated. And then, her Hugs a Lot character on the main roster really wasn't working. So I'm really glad, like, honestly, in the last year, I think she's become kind of invaluable as a talent. Like, she's incredible, frankly.
She's to me in the last year the best women's wrestler in all pro wrestling.
Yeah, I'm very close. Like, Asuka might be the only person who I think could like arguably be the other, be there. But yeah, I agree.
Mike?
Yeah, all right. So yeah, I think that this match is definitely the best women's match that they've had all year. It's probably in the top 3 of all matches that they've had, especially with it going up against maybe like the Undertaker AJ Boneyard match, from WrestleMania. But yeah, I think the thing that I take away from this is there was a lot of fun things that occurred in this match. Then there were some things that, they took a little bit of time on, like the Singapore cane and the stairs, and then Bayley trying to tape 2 of them together. And, they never got to whatever she was trying to do there. And then she almost tripped over him, which I thought was kind of hilarious. I almost laughed. But the match itself was good. The finish was good. The finish brought home how we had gotten here. But I think the thing that for me, unless now Bayley is going to go away for a little while and start the climb, back up through and win the title at like Royal Rumble, like, is this feud over?
That's what I was thinking too. Also, that's what I was thinking too. Like, they'll go away for a little while.
I don't think the feud can be over.
So here's what I would do if I could quickly fantasy book this before turning on my laundry and it, like, drowns it out. What I would do, I thought about this too at the end of the match. What I would do personally is I'd have them wrestle again at Survivor Series, have Sasha win, have the stipulation be very clearly that like this is Bayley's last shot, like unless something extraneous happens, she's not getting another shot. Like there's no more rematches or anything. So she loses, goes away for a couple of months, shows up at the Rumble, wins the Rumble. There you get your last match with them at WrestleMania.
See, the problem with that is that while it all sounds good, everybody knows that Survivor Series is brand versus brand. They normally never really have title matches on those shows. And I
don't know that this year's going to be like that, though.
See, I do. I think that because the thing is, I think you're inevitably going to have a women's Survivor Series elimination match. Because if it's going to be a full show and there's not going to be a crowd, they're going to have to fill, time. So I think this would be one where they start at 7 and it ends at 11. I think this is one that they give, more than 3 hours to, like we've been getting recently. I think that being one of the big four gets more time. Unless you're just going to use basically the entire undercard of both Raw and SmackDown's women's division and allow you to keep Asuka versus somebody and Sasha versus Bayley again, as the ace in the hole for the division. But then that's 3, maybe 4 women's division matches that you're going to get on that show, which may be overkill.
If you do the brand thing again, and I hope that you involve NXT again, because I liked that last year. That was fun.
I would.
That was awesome.
They will.
But if let's say they did that, it actually doesn't matter. But then I guess what I would say is, because you're probably right, they'll probably do a brand versus brand thing. You have Bayley be the reason that Sasha loses the brand versus brand women's match, whatever the capacity is. And then you do their match at TLC, same result, Bayley loses, not supposed to get another title shot, yada, yada. She's off TV for less time in that scenario, but you still don't have her show up again until the Rumble. You still have her win the Rumble, color by numbers from there.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't even have her miss much time. The only way I would have her miss any time is if Bayley wants to take a vacation, because she's been champion for 300 plus days, which very well could be the case. She may want to take a little bit of a break, and that leaves it where.
That did cross my mind tonight too. That she might go off TV for a little while.
My biggest fear is that they try to turn her face and turn Sasha back to a heel, and
No.
That would really suck.
Carol, this is working. This is working finally.
Carol just made a valid point. Bayley's supposed to be getting married sometime soon, so she may be taking some time off to become wed. So that would make sense on why she drops the title here, and
makes sense.
It makes sense to where she's gone for however long. Maybe she misses Survivor Series.
Yeah,
comes back, has the match at TLC, doesn't win, enters the Rumble, wins the Rumble, makes it abundantly clear from the beginning that she's cashing in on Sasha, and we just get the build up all the way to Mania.
Look, you could technically have her just disappear after tonight and not come back to the Rumble even.
You absolutely
lose to Sasha again.
Wanted to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely, because then you could give anybody the shot against Sasha at TLC, or you could even have a women's title match.
Exactly. Look, the fact is that the women's division, like in general, but especially on SmackDown, isn't exactly super deep. So, Sasha and Bayley is kind of just like the money feud right now. You're going to go back there. It should be the WrestleMania match. We just got to get there. It's an easy road.
Yeah. Co-main event of the evening based off of where it was on the card. 3 minutes, 50 seconds. The Destroyer, Bobby Lashley, defeats Slapjack via submission. Yeah. This was awful.
Yeah, I wanted to get coffee at this match.
I get it. Like, they're trying.
It was exactly what I expected from the least talented guy in the mighty Don't Kneel and the former TNA World Champion Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, they're not good.
No.
But they really got to figure out what they're going to do with these guys.
Next.
If not, it's not going to end well.
Nope.
They should listen to our show. We gave them every right idea.
I'm not disagreeing with you. So listen to it, fools. All right. Main event of the evening, 30 minutes, 35 seconds for the WWE Championship. The Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre took on the Legend Killer Randy Orton inside Hell in the Cell. McIntyre makes his way to the ring first. Orton basically attempts to jump him as a member of the staff and doesn't really work. And they wrestle around the cell. They finally get in the cell. Drew really dominated the in the cell portion of the match. Orton finally gets out, gets the, bolt cutters, cuts the lock, gets out. They go to the top. They hit the reminiscent of the Shawn Michaels Undertaker spot where Drew falls through the table, has, quote, internal injuries, bleeding from his mouth. Nice blood packet, buddy. Get back in the ring. Drew goes for the Claymore. It gets missed, and countered into an RKO, and Orton wins clean.
Which, I mean, after falling off the side of a cage, like, yeah. They definitely made sure that Drew got the shit beat out of him before he got hit by one of the 5 wrestling moves that is guaranteed to knock you out. So, like, I didn't hate that part of it, but honestly, I love Drew as champion. I don't think that his title reign was anywhere near done. And having Orton, of all people, be the guy to end it, especially after he so clearly beat him at the last pay-per-view. Like, look, so, okay, when the match first started, I kind of, like, I went into the show being interested enough in the match, and then Bayley and Sasha, like, satisfied my wrestling itch so much tonight, and then that, like, Bobby Lashley and Slapjack match, like,
you almost called him Slapdick.
Right. Like, it killed my interest in the show at that point, so I actually started, like, folding laundry and shit. So I wasn't that invested in Drew and Orton. And then I started to get a little invested, like actually around the point where they started to go outside the cage and stuff. I was like, okay, I'm watching. Then it started to feel like American Gladiators. It started to feel like they were just scaling the wall, trying to see who could beat the other. Apparently, Randy Orton was the gladiator because he got Drew McIntyre to fall. There you go.
Yes.
By the way, if Randy Orton was American Gladiator, what would his name be? Can we spit shot something there? Would it be spit shot? All right. Well, think about it. We'll come back to it. But anyway, so yeah, no, like I didn't need Orton being the guy to beat McIntyre. It doesn't do anything for anybody. Orton needs another world title about as badly as Jerry Lawler needs another heart attack. Like we don't need to see Randy Orton winning belts at this point in his career. And especially being the guy to, like, end Drew McIntyre's title reign was just kind of dumb. And the sad part, too, is it's like Drew at this point, his entire title reign didn't even get to take place in front of fans. And that kind of sucks because after the build that he got to be, he never even got his WrestleMania moment. It's just kind of sad overall, honestly. Like a real, like,
yeah, it definitely sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the takeaway here is that Drew shouldn't have lost to Orton. I don't think Orton was the guy. I would have had the Miz cash in after the match. I would have done
me too.
Anything else. Because now, like, okay, so now we look at it. When does Drew get his rematch? TLC?
Yeah. My guess...
Are we sure Survivor Series is going to be Brand against Brand again?
I think that's a good guess. And my guess is, because also too, let's be honest, like, where do you go after? Like, you're not going to a regular match after a Hell in a Cell. You're going to do a TLC match after this for the rematch. Yeah. We're going to get match 4, which, oh God, we really needed that between these two. My guess is McIntyre wins the title back, and then Miz cashes in instantly, and Miz ends the year as the champion.
I could get behind that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. I don't hate that in the end, but like we also could have done it without running the Orton's 14 title reign just randomly appearing for a month.
Yeah, how long does this last, you think? A month? That's it?
2 months,
Maybe
because
less.
Survivor Series doesn't have to defend it.
I mean, honestly, maybe less. Maybe Drew comes out tomorrow, hits him with like 17 claymores, and Miz cashes in.
He hits him with 17 claymores and then drags Bob Orton out to the stage and says he's going to claymore him 18 times unless he says I quit.
That makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Don't go back on your morals.
I could not get behind that.
Oh no, really good match though. Oh no, good match. Probably my favorite.
The match itself was good. No, Sasha Bailey was the best match.
No. I mean the three Orton. No, it's about the Orton McIntyre match. I'm saying.
Oh,
SummerSlam.
Shit, please don't tell me of the three Hell in
Oh
a Cell
fuck
matches.
no. I ain't close. No, hell no. Bailey and Sasha always, forever.
So yeah, big fan. The show itself was actually fairly solid. I enjoyed the show top to bottom. So
it was one of their better pay-per-views this year.
I give him A-. Honestly, I mean, obviously you had the little quote-unquote squash before the main event and whatever. You know, Elias and Jeff Hardy was whatever, but everything else was really, really good, above average. A-.
I'm like a solid B, and honestly, that's mostly because of Sasha and Bailey.
I think Sasha Bailey.
Hold on, I gotta catch my breath right now. Fucking the Cardinals just shanked a field goal.
Then OT, right?
In overtime. He literally kicked the first one through as his own coach called timeout to avoid delay of game, and he just straight shanked that one to the left. Holy shit. All right, final topic.
In honor of kickers having a really bad day in the NFL, because if you're the Carolina kicker, I feel like you had a really bad day missing that one field goal by a yard. But anyway, in honor of all NFL kickers, let's spin the wheel one more time.
All right, we're giving it a... let's give it a wheel. All right, it is the PWI Top 100 Female List.
Okay.
I gotta go back.
I was hoping for the on a pole matches. God damn it. Mike, you have the list?
Judy Bagwell on a forklift. Oh my god. I'm getting the list now. Hold on. It's coming up on my phone. All right. I guess we're going to start, one and work our way down.
Yeah, sure.
That makes the most sense. All right. The PWI number one female wrestler. I don't know what the exact calendar. I'll look it up real quick for the.
I thought it was
the same they used for the other one.
I know it's September to September.
Yeah.
I want to have the correct terminology for anyone that's listening at home. It was from October 1st of 2019 through September 30th of 2020.
Okay. Close enough. Yeah.
No, fuck you, Ernest.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. You're both wrong. Fuck yourselves. Number one on the list is the now former SmackDown Women's Champion. It is Bayley.
And we literally just got done saying how in the last year she's clearly been maybe other than Asuka.
Right.
Asuka might be the only other person in the conversation for top, and so I'm happy to see her at number one. I have no argument against that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And she carried the no crowd era too, especially.
The only other person
her and Sasha.
In that conversation would be the person that they have at number two.
Is it Becky?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Becky's first 6 months was fantastic. Let's be real. She was at that time the most overacted in the entire company. Period of discussion.
Can I be honest? I don't miss her at all.
I don't either.
And I don't mean to sound mean. I'm not a fan of hers. I do still feel like it was still that weird thing. I feel like she, all of a sudden had all this attitude for 5 minutes, and then it got watered down, and they gave her some of the worst written promos. She is one of the clearest examples of someone who should probably be given a lot more freedom, especially on the mic and stuff, because she's got so much talent, and you could just feel how controlled she is. You know, I swear to God, I swear every time I see her in the ring, either wrestling or cutting a promo, I feel like I'm watching a hostage situation because she clearly is being held back from doing things that she can actually do to kind of just fit the mold.
Well, you know why, right? You know why?
Because she can't be too good because Seth Rollins will feel bad.
No, she's the face of the brand.
Yeah, but you can be the face without being corny as shit.
Cena, John would like to have a conversation with you. Talk about Captain Cornball here.
But that's exactly the thing, though, right? For 5 minutes, they were trying to present Becky Lynch as the female Stone Cold Steve Austin, and instead they gave us the female John Cena.
I'm not disagreeing that the gimmick became very bland.
Yeah.
When she was becoming the man, and then when she was Becky Two Belts and all that was fun. And then it
sounded like she was transitioning, just for the record.
But
well, go ahead.
After she won the title at WrestleMania, like it slowly started to transition to, well, now she's here. Now what do we do? Well, what do you do now is you fucking keep letting her do whatever the fuck she wants. Kind of like what you did with Stone Cold back in the 90s. You pretty much let him do whatever the fuck he wanted.
She also started her reign also it was some really bad booking, like the fucking thing with her and Seth versus King Corbin and not King Corbin. It was Baron Corbin and Evans. Stupid.
Yeah,
I didn't hate that as much as you guys did.
And that's the thing. Look, one of the things with Austin, Austin is in and of himself just an amazing talent, great in the ring, great on the mic, had the right moment, And the thing is, it wasn't even just an after time thing. You can go back and watch those shows now and still be totally enamored by everything that he does. But Becky also didn't have the foils. You know what I mean? Hogan had the foils. Austin had the foils. Becky was trying to be positioned as one of the first real female main eventers, and she had Charlotte, but other than. And then she had Asuka, but other than that, there wasn't a lot of meat there. Lacey Evans, come on, you just said, that feud sucked. You know what I mean?
I thought she caught on.
Trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Right. I thought she caught on. I thought she caught on. The reason why she's number 2 is perfect for her is because end of the year she's feuding with Sasha. That was really really good, and she's feuding with Asuka. Turn of the year into Royal Rumble. That was good feud as well too. So that's why she gets number 2.
I would have Asuka at number 2, hands down. The only reason I wouldn't have her at number 1 is because of Bayley's title reign and everything. But I think Asuka's been one of the real highlights, especially during the no audience era, right? You know what I mean? Which is the bulk of this list. And even before that, it's not like she wasn't doing nothing. She was fighting for the Raw Women's title. She was, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, which clearly matters so much. Asuka's been a consistent top player and one of the most entertaining parts of Raw at the very least.
I love Asuka,
and I'm sure she's at number 3, right?
Yes, she is.
Yeah. So, there's no surprise there. It's Becky's at number 2 because Becky basically has to be at number 2 because that's the way she's positioned in,
She also, but here's the thing. We say Asuka got over big in the no crowd era. Would she even have gotten the title and been an integral part of the no crowd era had Becky not gotten pregnant?
Probably not.
What would she have done with the Money in the Bank briefcase? Because she was the one that won the briefcase. That's what I'm getting at. There's pieces of it that it's easy to say that it ended up working because they were able to transition the title from Becky to Asuka very smoothly, and Asuka took it and ran with it, which is kudos to her. But I feel like maybe it wouldn't have happened the way that it should, or that way if we don't have Becky end up getting pregnant.
Maybe not that way, but because of if we assume Charlotte gets hurt still after Mania, it would have been open for another person to step in there and to have some impact. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not the same way, obviously, Asuka being the number 1 woman at Raw, but certainly in the conversation, I would say.
Yeah,
well, I don't think Charlotte would have been around in that aspect. I think she would have been down in NXT working with them. still, even before she got hurt. I don't think they had anything really to do with her on Raw or SmackDown. So Charlotte is number 4. Rounding up the top 5 is the new SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. We have our first member of the... Go ahead.
The funny thing is, like, I remember really disagreeing with a lot of the men's, like, top 5 or 10. Yeah. I don't have a problem with this top 5. Like, I don't really think Becky... Like, I don't love Becky at number 2, but I get why she's there. And even if I didn't have her at number 2, I don't know, I wouldn't not have her in my top 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think if anything, like, this top 5 is fairly accurate. I'll give PWI, I'll give Pro Wrestling Illustrated that credit. And I think it's really a good representation of women's pro wrestling right now, because the truth is, like, yeah, like, no one in AEW belongs anywhere near the top 5. No one in any of the other women's divisions in wrestling belong near the top 5.
Is there any AEW
the only other one? Yes, there's 2 in the top 10. The only other one that could have had conversation for the top 5 that wasn't in WWE would have probably been Tessa, had she not gone
because
rogue.
She was the Impact heavyweight champion.
Correct. She's the only one that I would have had any kind of, like, true conversation about. Number 6, the first member of the AEW roster, is their current women's champion. It is Hikaru Shida.
And she's only there because she's their champion.
Yeah, I agree.
I would agree with that.
I agree with that too.
Number 7 is Tessa Blanchard.
Who nobody likes.
Yeah, nobody likes her at all.
No,
number 8 is the second member of the AEW roster. It is former women's champion Riho.
Wow, I'm surprised that high.
I think it's because she had the title at the beginning of this time period, and basically the only reason why she's not there is because of COVID restrictions.
But, like, she had the title and like, showed up 5 times even before COVID.
That's what I get. Like, she didn't defend it much. Even
I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I was the one that said from the very beginning that building your roster around a Japanese Joshi fucking talent base was not going to work. Everybody called me crazy.
Okay. Serious question, both of you guys. And anyone listening, too. Close your eyes right now and try to imagine Rio and tell me that you can actually see what she looks like 100%. I've forgotten who the fuck this woman is because she's been on so long. And she wasn't that memorable to begin with.
That's funny.
3'8" with a very poofy skirt when she wrestles.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Like a doll.
Number 9 is the current NXT Women's Champion. It is Io Shirai.
She belongs higher on the list. She should be at, like...
fuck is Rhea Ripley? I mean, is Rhea Ripley in top 10 at least?
No.
That is fucking insane.
That's because she lost at Mania.
Number 10 is current one of the main acts in Stardom. It is Mayu Watanabe.
I don't know.
I've heard really great things about her on Twitter. So I would assume that she deserves to be in the top 10, especially being the only member of the Japanese that's not in WWE to make it to the top 10. So I don't have an issue with her being in the top 10. It really shows PWI opening themselves to all and not forcefully shoving WWE or AEW down our collective throats.
It's not. They're not Dave Meltzer. Not to sound dark, but that girl, that female wrestler who unfortunately took her life in Japan, did she make the list, or was that too long ago?
Hold on, let me do a quick.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I remember her, but
the young one. Yeah, she was super young. But like, I feel like that was recent enough where she could possibly be on this list.
I think it's kind of asinine. You have one person from NXT on the top 10, and it's on the bottom of the top 10. That is, to me, is asinine.
She did not make the top. She did not make the top 100.
Okay. Well,
they may have chose to do that as
typically, yeah.
Not wanting to become too much on it. Quickly through the top 20. Number 11 is the former NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. Number 12 is Jordynne Grace. Let me roll through it, and then we'll go through. Number 12, Jordynne Grace. Number 13 is Shayna Baszler. Number 14 is the NWA Women's Champion Thunder Rosa. 15 was Kimber Lee. 16, Nyla Rose. 17, Taya Valkyrie. 18 is Kaylee Ray. 19 is Kylie Ray. 20 is Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross 20. Okay.
A
little surprised there, but I'm not mad at it.
So, okay. I would trade out the AEW women in the top 10. I don't know if I would trade both of them out, but I would definitely. Well,
Rio's got to go.
Rio's got to go. Rhea should be up there instead of Rhea.
Question.
And Io Shirai should be much higher up. Honestly, she might even be like. Okay, I see the argument for her not being top 5, but then she at least belongs at number 6.
Shayna Baszler only gets fucked because she was badly booked the last fucking 6-7 months.
Oh my god. I told you what happened. Shayna had the unfortunate luck of being in a Hell in a Cell match that Paul Heyman got to book, and he
Elimination
booked
Chamber
that way that he said he was going to book December to Dismember 2006 and would have killed CM Punk's career, but instead he killed Shayna Baszler's career. Go
December
Paul.
It was Elimination Chamber, not Hell in a Cell.
Right. Well, that was an Elimination Chamber also, the one that Shayna won.
Yeah,
no, but you said Hell in a Cell. You said Hell in a Cell. You meant to say Elimination Chamber.
I meant Elimination Chamber, yeah. It was December to Dismember was the pay-per-view.
Correct. Yes, it was. I remember that fucking shit show. Top 30, we have Kairi Sane at 21.
Okay.
22 is Britt Baker. 23 is Bianca Belair.
That's low. That feels low. Oof. Okay, go ahead.
How is it low? What the fuck has she done?
I know. I get it. This feels low. Compared to everybody else, it feels low. But go ahead.
Okay. 24, Dakota Kai. 25, Allison Kay. 26 is Tegan Nox. 27 is Alexa Bliss. 28 is Momo Watanabe. 29 is Mercedes Martinez. And number 30 was Deonna Purrazzo. Looking at... Go ahead, Joe.
Where's Big Swole? I'm asking the question that matter.
39.
I can live with that.
Me too.
I mean, let's be honest. Everyone after like number 20 up until like number 90, they're just throwing names out there. They're just being like, yeah, whatever. Put Big Swole at 39. Fuck it.
I really only care about the first 25. To be honest with you, beyond that, it's
and I like looking at like the last 10 personally because I'm always just like, yo, it's more interesting in the 500 with the men because it's always guys who you've never fucking heard of.
Well, you mentioned that you thought that Bianca Belair was too low. Who would you take out to put her somewhere else?
Ooh, good question.
She was 23, right? You said?
Correct.
Which means like you're arguing that she'd be top 20?
Yeah, not top 10. No, like 18, 19, 20 area. Not, you know, I mean, think of one. Think of Nyla Rose.
I like how you said that like you didn't already sound crazy arguing that she's top 20. But go ahead, do you? Go ahead.
Thank you,
Dick.
I'm not disagreeing because personally, I don't think I'd have her in my top 25.
No, same. I actually think that 23 is pretty generous. I'd probably have her around 30.
Yeah, maybe I'm
just overrating the couple months she was pretty like on par, like from December to like March, April.
That's the thing. No, she's talented as fuck. I'm a big fan of hers, but she hasn't done anything in a while.
No, yeah, she really hasn't.
Yeah, that makes sense too. She's got the same Shayna Baszler treatment also too. She ran Royal Rumble, got called to Raw, I think in March or whatever, and all of a sudden she's badly booked.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
31 through 40, Ivelisse, who's currently signed to AEW. Yes. Chris Statlander is at 32. She's out with the torn ACL. Jessica Havoc, part of the Impact division. Candice LeRae of NXT. Lufisto of 35. Mia Yim, 36. Bea Priestley, who's now no longer with AEW, is back in Japan as part of Stardom. 38. Priscilla Kelly, 39. Joe's favorite, Big Swole. And 40 was Nicole Savoy, a.k.a. Lil Swole. Out of this, like, the thing, like, the fact that AEW didn't take a chance on Lufisto, like, who Joe probably knows.
Yeah, like, I didn't even know she was still wrestling, to be honest.
Yeah, and I just think that, like, she would be someone that AEW could use that would be a major, workhorse for them.
I wonder if the problem is that she's like stuck in Canada or something.
It's very possible. Other notables. We'll just go through some notable names. 43 is Lacey Evans. 44 is Sue Young. 45 is Toni Storm. 46 is Chauncey Blackheart. 48 is AEW's Penelope Ford. Millie McKenzie, 52. If that name sounds familiar, she was one of the ones that spoke out against Travis Banks in the Speak Out movement. You go, girl. I believe in you. 56, Sonya Deville. 57, Peyton Royce. 59, Billie Kay. Naomi, 63. Ashley Vox of the Team C Stars is 66. Her partner Delmi Exo 75. They were in Chikara. They were actually pretty good in Chikara. Nia Jax 69.
Wait. Here's the question. I'm not mature enough for that. What is your feeling on like Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville not being a lot higher? Because I know you just said Sonya like what in the high 40s or 50s?
56.
Yeah, I mean, look, those are two of the women that were involved in like one of the only women's like non-title related feuds for much of the year in WWE, and actually had a pretty awesome storyline and stuff. And I mean, I get it, like Sonya's gone now and stuff, but I think for the period of time that they were rating, she at least belongs in like the top 30.
You want to know the funny thing?
What?
Mandy Rose, I don't think ended up in the top 100.
She's not on the list?
I'm looking through it right now. Hold on.
That's some bullshit. I'm offended. We went to the same college. I'm always going to mention that, just so you know. Every single time she comes up in conversation, I'm going to find a way to work that in.
The top 100 list. No, I don't see her on here at all. Nyla Rose. I'm scrolling real quick to see if I can see anything.
See, now I'm like, okay, but tell me who's like number 90 through 100. Because like, who are the people that they decided in the end you are better than Mandy Rose? Because that's some shit. She's not bad.
Well, there's one that you can already take out, but I'll go through 76 through 100 because that's my final page, and we'll go from there. Someone by the name of Lady Marvilla. I have no idea. What promotion that she's in, so I can't speak on her. 77 is Nicole Matthews, former member of the Canadian Ninjas. 78 is Sarui. Again, no idea. Zoe Lucas is at 79. She's over in Japan with Stardom. Casey Spinelli is in the Independents, as is Davey Yanni. Sessions Moth Martina over with Ring of Honor. Indy Hartwell, who just signed with Ring of Honor. Liv Morgan is at 84. Giselle Shaw, who's in the Canada Independents, is at 85. Trish Adora is at 86. Danny Luna, 87. Lady Shani, 88. Killer Kelly, who is with NXT UK, I believe, is at 89. Nina Samuel, same thing. She's at 90. Jessica Troy at 91. Candy Lee at 92. Jody Threat at 93. Willow Nightingale, who used to be in Chikara, is at 94. This is the one that automatically shouldn't be on this list if Mandy Rose isn't part of this list, and that is Veda Scott on commentary only.
What the fuck?
It says AEW commentary only.
Well, that's so stupid.
Marty Bell, Heather Monroe, Holly Dead, Elenia Black, and Max the Impaler at number 100.
Am I crazy? Did you... I'm trying to remember who I feel like should have been named, and I didn't hear you say. Is there anyone obvious missing right now?
From like that besides, I know of? Or...
Oh, did you say Alexa Bliss?
Yeah, she was number 27.
Oh, okay, thank God. I missed her, and I was like, did they fuck that up too?
What about
she was 27.
Check.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm checking who else. I'm trying to think who else I missed.
I'm not even straight, and I'm still offended that Mandy's not there. Even I can tell she's hot. Like, at least she belongs on the list for that reason. Like, damn.
I'm trying to see.
What's Britt Baker's assistant again? Not Rhea.
Rebby.
Rebby. What about her?
Rosita.
Nah, she ain't on there.
Anything else? Because I got to wrap up.
I'm actually just trying to see if there's anyone that I missed. No, I think that's good.
MVP.
Joseph.
MVP.
My MVP this week. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Kenny Omega because Sonny Kiss is fucking fierce as fuck, and if you can finish him in less than 30 seconds, ooh, girl, you deserve to be MVP.
I heard about that. I haven't watched Dynamite yet. I'll watch it tomorrow, but I heard about that.
You're lucky we didn't land on it on the wheel. It wasn't a topic, but
yeah. Was it bad this week?
I didn't hate it.
It wasn't their best, but it definitely hasn't been their worst show recently.
Okay. You should definitely check out the Lucha Brothers having their Lucha Brother problems.
Yeah, I heard about that. Lucha. My MVP this week is going to be to the longest reigning SmackDown champion who just lost her belt tonight, Bayley. Again, number 1 on the PWI100, as you mentioned a little while ago. She had a phenomenal year, and she was a great champion. So kudos to her. And of course, she's supposed to get married soon, as Mike is being rumored. So yeah, Bayley, great job being champion.
It's real simple. The only true MVPs of the week are the new faction that's going to take over NXT. Oni Lorcan, Danny Burch, the new NXT Tag Team Champions, and the man, the myth, the legend, Pat McAfee.
I saw he came back this week. I saw that. Dude, I'll be honest with you. I've missed the last 2 NXTs.
Well, I'm going to suggest that you don't miss this week's.
Okay.
Because it is Halloween Havoc.
That's
and
right.
It will probably be my topic.
Okay.
And while you have the week to watch older Halloween Havocs, that will probably be my topic.
Hogan Warrior. That's it. Let's go.
No,
God.
That is the worst.
I'm joking.
I've actually never seen that match, for the record.
Don't watch it.
I watched it
we have to talk about it next week.
I watched it one time, guys, and that was like a couple of years ago, and I regret I can't get back those 20 minutes of my life ever.
Look, all I'm saying is we're talking about Halloween Havoc, like favorite Halloween Havoc or worst Halloween Havoc. Make 20 minutes to watch that match again this week because I'm gonna watch it.
If anything, I think I watched the Halloween Havoc 1996.
That's right. Sure.
Hogan and Savage. Of course.
Seven had Savage and DDP in like a really good match, if I recall correctly.
That was 97, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So
Team for the brand.
That's right, for the brand. He's back, Matt McAfee. All right, fellas, I'm good. Find a podcast.
Okay, bye.
Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, Google Play, all that good stuff. Later, guys.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.